Again today, protesters, women especially, packed the halls of the U.S. Capitol, targeting key Republicans and hoping to pressure them to deny Brett Kavanaugh a seat on the Supreme Court. They crowded outside the offices of Arizona Senator Jeff Flake and Maine Senator Susan Collins. And they dogged Joe Manchin of West Virginia, the one Democrat who might vote with the Republicans. Inside the Senate chamber,
the motion is agreed to.
The Senate voted narrowly to move forward on the final confirmation vote tomorrow, and suddenly it was clear Kavanaugh's fate was in the hands of Susan Collins.
And I will announce my intentions on how to vote later today.
It seemed the entire country focused on what happened next.
The senator for Maine.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Collins, please vote no.
That disruption aside, it was soon clear Collins would not be voting no. And outside, protesters went grimly silent as the senator gave a lengthy defense of Kavanaugh's legal record and then turned to the accusations of sexual assault against him.
I listened carefully to Christine Blasey Ford's testimony before the Judiciary Committee. I found her testimony to be sincere, painful, and compelling.
But the lack of cooperation by other witnesses for the story Christine Blasey Ford told the Senate committee last week is what turned things for Collins.
The allegations failed to meet the more likely than not standard. Therefore, I do not believe that these charges can fairly prevent Judge Kavanaugh from serving on the court.
With that, Kavanaugh's confirmation seemed assured. Only minutes later, Democrat Joe Manchin released a statement saying he too would vote for Kavanaugh. And so, barring some unforeseeable change, tomorrow's vote goes from peak drama to denouement. Kavanaugh will be confirmed by 51 votes, meaning that at least he is spared the unprecedented spectacle for a Supreme Court justice of having a tie in the Senate broken by the vice president.
Okay, so hard to believe that this could be the end of the story. Is it, Keith?
Well, it's the end of part of the story, but it's all happened in the context of a midterm election campaign, and both sides intend to try to use Kavanaugh's nomination to motivate their base voters. Donald Trump will claim victory and say this is why Republicans voted for him and he's delivered. Democrats will make a similar argument. They'll say that this is what you get if you let Republicans win.
What about the long term in all of this?
Well, there are some who are already claiming that Justice Kavanaugh's entire time on the bench will have a cloud over it because of the unresolved accusations made against him over the last few weeks. Who could say whether that's true? But it seems likely that Supreme Court nominations in the future are going to be very divisive battlefields. And given the age of some of the current justices, we could see those battles soon.
Keith Boak in Washington, thank you for this.
Thank you.
Now, as Keith said there, Kavanaugh's confirmation vote is expected to be razor thin, which historically speaking it's still pretty rare. Close calls, though, and controversy are not unprecedented. In recent years, the closest vote was for the man whose own past scandal is so often compared to Kavanaugh's, Clarence Thomas, 52 to 48 in 1991. Since then, the tightest vote was for President Trump's last pick, Neil Gorsuch, confirmed last year 54 to 45. Those conservative jurists were much criticized by Democrats, but more liberal picks have been hotly debated as well. Many Republicans viewed Sonia Sotomayor as a progressive crusader when Barack Obama nominated her in 2009. Yet she was confirmed with a healthy majority, 68 to 31.